In this video, we are going to build this panel here and we are going to learn how to apply custom CSS to your Aura components. Now let's go back to our VS Code, and here in the board component, we need to create this panel where we can show the WinWord and moves left. So I'm going to have another lightning layout here. And within this lightning layout, I'm going to have couple of lightning layout items. In the first layout item, first of all, let's remove the size. In the first layout item, we are going to show the WinWord. So let's call it like word. And then here we'll display the WinWord. So for that, we can use our exclamatory mark, the way we access our attributes value. So it will be like v.winword. Now let's create another layout item where we will display the moves left. Again, let's remove the size from here. And here we need to display mouse left. So let's create one more attribute and let's call it click count. This should be of integer type, and then let's give it a default value as 0. Now let's also give all of these attributes an access as private, because we are never going to access them outside this component. So if you remember, the default access is public, but if your attribute is truly meant for this component itself, then you can change the access to private. So here in this click count attribute, we are going to store the number of clicks or the number of tiles which are opened. So we are going to display the count here, but we are going to subtract it from 3, because if the click count is 1, then the moves left are 2. So for that, again, we are going to use the similar syntax and exclamatory mark, but here we will have a mathematical equation which will be like, let's start our parenthesis first, then 3 minus this attribute's value, which is v.clickCount. So whatever the value of this attribute will be, we are going to subtract that from 3, and then the result will be displayed here. So let's save our code and then let's deploy our changes. So now we see our WinWord and then the moves left. But we need to change the look and feel of these two items. First, we need to assign a gray background to our board component. Then we need to make sure that our WinWord is in capital case and it's in bold letters. And our moves left text should also be bigger. So for that, we need to use custom CSS. So I'll show you how you can use custom CSS in your Aura component. First of all, let's do one thing. Let's wrap both of these lightning layouts inside a parent div tag. So it will be like div, and then let's close this div after second lightning layout. Now we are going to give this div a class because we want to stylize this div component, which is the base container for this board component. So let's name our class as board. You can name it anything that you want. Now we need to stylize this board class, right? For that, we are going to use our CSS class. So let's open our component bundle and open board.css file. Now in this CSS file, you will see this keyword is written by default, which refers to this component. If your component or if your element is direct child of this Aura component, then you can use your class without any space after this. So it will be like this dot your class name, and here you can write your CSS properties. But if it is not direct child, that means like this lightning layout, this is not the direct child of this Aura component. This lightning layout is the direct child of this div component. So if your element is not the direct child of Aura component, then you need to give a space between your component class and this keyword. For now, our div element is the direct child of Aura component. So I'm going to remove this space and then I'm going to paste some CSS properties. So it will be like, let's change the background. So we are going to give it a white background and then I'm just changing the position as well. So let's save our code and deploy our changes. So now we have got whitish background and we have got our WinWord and mouse left. The next step is to stylize this WinWord and make this mouse left text bigger. So again we are going to use our custom CSS along with standard SLDS classes. So if you open your DevTools, let's click on inspect. Then let's click on this inspect icon on the top left corner of your DevTools and then click on mouse left. So then it will select your mouse left element and on the right hand side you will see this styles tab. So we can directly apply our CSS classes within the browser itself just to see how our elements look and feel changes once we apply these classes. So let's click on this CLS text that you see on the right hand side and here let's search for SLDS minus text minus heading and then you can change between these classes. And as you are changing it, just notice the look and feel of your element. So here our mouse left text is getting smaller or bigger based on the classes that we are applying. So here I want to apply SLDX text heading medium class to it. So let's copy this class and let's go back to our VS Code and here open our board component. So I'm going to wrap this mouse left text in a div tag so that I can apply my CSS classes. And here let's use our class attribute and then paste the class that we have just copied. Let's copy it one more time and paste it here. So once you wrap your text in a div tag and then apply your SLDS text class, then you do not need to specify the definition of this class here inside your CSS file, because this SLDS class comes with Aura framework itself. So it is like out of the box thing. But if you want to use your own custom classes, then you can specify them inside the CSS file. And that's what we'll do with our word text here. So first I'm going to wrap this word text inside a div tag. Let's give same class to this one as well. And let's close this div tag here. Now what this will do, it's going to increase the font size of my mouse left text and this word text. But for this WinWord, I want to give extra styling. I want to make it bold as well and I want to make it capitalized. So what I'll do now, I'll wrap this WinWord inside an span tag and then I'm going to give it a CSS class. Let's name our class as WinWord. And then we need to define the properties of this class. How we can do that? We need to use our CSS file. So let's go to our board.css file. Here let's use this. Then this time I'm going to give a space in between. The reason is this span tag is not the direct child of this Aura component tag. So in that case, make sure that you are giving a space in between. Now the styles that I want to use is, first I want to transform the text to capital cases. So it is like uppercase. And then I want to change the font weight to bold. So that should be it. Now let's deploy our changes and we should see the same look and feel that we are seeing in my other Salesforce org. Perfect. Now our WinWord is in bold cases and it's capitalized, where the rest of the text is also bigger. So in the end, I'll just reiterate, if you are using custom CSS classes, just make sure that if it is not the direct child of your Aura component, then you give a space in between, else there is no need of a space.